Today's the last of our toilet stories in the Bible, but it's quite a good one. So, again, this is in the Old Testament, and it's about someone coming to save the Israelites. The Israelites, again, did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord strengthened King Eglon of Moab against Israel, because they had done what was evil in the sight of the Lord. In alliance with the Ammonites and the Amalekites, he went and defeated Israel, and they took possession of the city of palms. So the Israelites served King Eglon of Moab for 18 years. But when the Israelites cried out to the Lord raised up for them a deliverer, Ehud, son of Gera, the Benjaminite, a left-handed man. The Israelites sent tribute by him to King Eglon of Moab. Ehud made for himself a sword with 2 edges, a cubit in length, and he fastened it on his right thigh under his clothes. Then he presented the tribute to King Eglon of Moab. Now Eglon was a very fat man. When Ehud had finished presenting the tribute, he sent the people who were carrying the tribute on their way. But he himself turned back at the sculptured stones near Gilgal and said, "I have a secret message for you, O king." So the king said, "Silence," and all his attendants went out from his presence. Ehud came to him while he was sitting alone on his cool roof chamber and said, "I have a message from God for you." So he rose from his seat. Then Ehud reached with his left hand and took the sword from his right thigh and thrust it into Eglon's belly. The hilt went in after the blade, and the fat closed over the blade, for he did not draw the sword out of his belly, and the dirt came out. Then Ehud went out into the vestibule and closed the doors of the roof chamber on him and locked them. After he had gone, the servants came. When they saw that the doors of the roof chamber were locked, they thought he must be relieving himself in the cool chamber. So they waited until they were embarrassed. When he still didn't open the doors of the roof chamber, they took the key and opened them. There was the Lord, lying dead on the floor. Ehud escaped while they were delayed, and passed beyond the sculptured stones and escaped to Syria. When he arrived, he sounded the trumpet from the hill country of Ephraim, and the Israelites went down with him from the hill country, having him at their head. He said to them, "Follow me, for the Lord has given your enemies, the Moabites, into your hands." So they went down after him and seized the fords of Jordan against the Moabites, and allowed no one to cross over. And at that time they killed about 10,000 Moabites, all strong, able-bodied men. No one escaped. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest for 80 years. So the Lord raised up a deliverer for the people. And do you notice when the Lord raised up a deliverer for the people? As soon as they asked, the Lord saved them. As soon as they realised they'd made a big mistake that they couldn't put right on their own, God fixed it. He found someone who could solve the problem. This story shows us that God won't forget us, no matter what. And this is a pattern that happens all the way through the Bible, that people are following the things that God has told them to do, and then they forget and they make mistakes. And God saves them every time. It's a circle that keeps coming round and round. It's a pattern that keeps happening. God always saves us. Today is also Palm Sunday. Did you notice in the story, there are quite a few references that do fit with Jesus' life, and especially when we're thinking about it being Palm Sunday. Jerusalem is called the City of the Palms, and there's lots of things about Ehud which normally wouldn't make him a great leader. He's a Benjaminite, he's left-handed, which was often seen as something bad, but he uses this to his advantage. He's not someone that maybe we would have chosen to save the Israelites, But God can see behind that, and God chose him, and he was the right person.
They came in search of great music, and this is what they found. Fishy Music presents Down to Earth.
That's not quite right. It's more like this.
He could have been born in a royal palace and called your majesty, worn a crown of diamonds and lived in luxury. But he was born in a dirty stable and laid on a bed of hay. Not too many welcomed him on the very first Christmas day. He is down to earth, he is down to earth. The one who changed the world forever is down to earth. He could have been friends with rich and famous, with big celebrities, had anything he wanted, living as he pleased. But he made friends with the poor folks, with the sick and with the lame. He helped them with their problems and he called them all by name. He is down to earth, he is down to earth. The one who changed the world forever is down to earth. Felt so very grand. His servants would have bowed and said, your wish is my command. But he wore a crown of thorns, gave everything he had. He gave his life that we might know the great love of his dad. He is down to earth, he is down to earth. The one who changed the world forever is down to earth. He is down to earth. He is down to earth. The one who changed the world forever is down to earth.
As it's Palm Sunday, we're going to start making an Easter garden. And we're going to see if we can use repeating patterns in our Easter garden to show that the stories in the Bible repeat themselves and things happen again and again. And in Jesus' life, you can see those repeating patterns coming through. So for your Easter garden, you're going to need something that you're going to make the garden in. You might find a plant pot or a dish or a tray of some kind, and we're going to put some soil in it. Then we're going to make a path in the soil. I'm going to do mine coming all the way around in a circle, because circles are quite good with repeating patterns. I've got lots of stones, so I can make a repeating pattern with the stones as well. Next, I've got some moss and some cress seeds, which I'm going to plant into the garden to give it some green grass. And then lastly, I'm going to water it. And then we can watch it grow over the coming week. So let's end with a prayer. This is a Franciscan blessing. It's a bit complicated, so if you don't understand it first time through, don't worry. Just play it back and listen to it again. May God bless us with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths and superficial relationships. May God bless us with anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation. May God bless us with enough foolishness to believe we can make a difference in this world, doing in His name what others claim cannot be done. Amen.